Okay, good day everyone. So we are the assigned group who will about to discuss to you the agrarian reform after Spanish colonial Philippines and to present. So at this portion, we will talk about the different land reformations as time passes by from the Spanish colonial until to this into the present. And we have here our co-members. We have Miss Doron, Mr. Himarino. We have also Miss Gozo and Mr. Jamara and also Miss Pantelgan as well. So, as we start for our learning competencies, at the end of this lesson, you will about to know the history of the agrarian reform on the day the Spanish released us from captivity. So we all know that in the time passed by, we are being captives. No, each and every one of us, each and every one of the Filipinos are being captives of the Spanish, and all those land reforms that we have are being changed or being manipulated by the Spanish colonial. And next is we were about to understand the different phases of reform after the Spanish colonial period. So we will know what would be the status after the Spanish colonial period as they leave the Philippines. Next is compare the status of reform in any phases of agrarian reform. First, Philippine Republic, followed by the American period and the Commonwealth period, and last is the Japanese occupation. So we will be tackling about each and every one of these, what was the status of our land reformation at the time in the First Philippine Republic by Emilio Aguinaldo rather, and American period, the Commonwealth period, the Japanese occupation. Okay, so as we start here, the First Philippine Republic. So when General Emilio Aguinaldo came to power in 1899, that was the year where Emilio Aguinaldo has been raised as the first president of the Philippines, and that was also they established the day the First Philippine Republic as being independent without the manipulation or without the dictation of the Spanish. At that time, the Spanish monarchy. The Malolos Constitution, which they crafted, intended to confiscate the so-called friar lands and other large estates. So when we talk about friar lands, these are the lands occupation that has been under the priest, okay, and other large estates. So when we talk about large estates, these are the different largest land reformations that is under by those maharlikas, or those people who have in power, those who are rich people. So, however, the First Philippine Republic was short-lived, so that the plan to confiscate the land was never executed. So, as what I have said, it was short-lived. It is because the First Philippine Republic was not as powerful as we think, right? Because at those time, the First Philippine Republic was too short because of the following hindrances that came into the Philippines, where as that time that the Spanish left the Philippines, it was followed by the American colonial period, which has been started the World War II. Okay, so are you familiar with the World War II? So that was the time where the American colonial period has been trying to manipulate, or has been trying to dictate the Philippines when it comes to, or when it talks to land reformations. So in every scenarios, in every hindrances that comes into the Philippines, the land reformations or the agrarian reform is changing. Now it's not being constant. It is because of the hindrances and the circumstances that the colonization had brought to the Philippines. Okay? So this First Philippine Republic was established by General Emilio Aguinaldo, and as what I have said, this constitution was created in the Malolos, and they intended to confiscate. No, they tried to confiscate the so-called those lands under the priest, those lands under the rich people, but this kind of plan that Emilio Aguinaldo had created was not as powerful as we think. It was short-lived. It is because of the colonization of the Americans that happened on after the 1899 First Philippine Republic. So next, we'll give the floor to Mr. Himarino as he discussed to you the American colonization period.